Good afternoon, everybody. This is PreMarket Prep at the close. Spencer Israel, Joel Elconin, and Mitch Hoch. I'm coming at you from the Benzinga office, where I have not been in like 3 or 4 months. So it's cool to be back here. Big day, obviously, in the world. Was it a big day for the markets, Joel?
It was a big day for the markets, and I have to retract what I had said to Triple D before about when Biden speaks, the market tails off here. But just a quick wrap or quick look, we just had no problems taking out that pre-market high. Once we took that off to the races, really no levels up here in no man's land. Currently higher by 58 and a half handles at 38.50, and sure doesn't look like we're done going up yet. So finally break out to new highs. What's up?
Can you do me a favor, Joe? Can you share your screen for us so we can see those charts?
Share those charts.
Sorry about that. I thought I did. Oh, no, I didn't. So there we go. So, hey, there's Spencer. There we go. Crude up 15 cents at 53.13. Knocked on the door of that 54. That's been the high of the move. Turned back again, but that will be your next breakout above 54. Gold's having a good day. People interested in the gold market up $30.20. That cleared the quad highs that you had from last week. Silver, that's having a good day too. Up 62 and a half cents at 25.945. And a little bit red here for Bitcoin. Cooling off just a tad here, down 4.5%. 34,940. That's where the futures are. That's down $1,695. Spencer, what do you want to cover first?
Yeah, day one of the Biden administration, and everything is pretty much up, with the exception of the financials. We did not talk Morgan Stanley this morning. They had earnings. We didn't get to it, but what you need to know: they beat on the EPS, they beat on their sales, they gave good guidance. All the big banks have now reported for the Q4 quarter, and they're all down. It's the only sector in the S&P that's down today. The XLF, all the banks. Buy the rumor, sell the news.
I mean, it's just rotation. Let's go with Morgan Stanley first. I mean, actually, this one is holding up a little bit better. Did peak off the opening print. Let me add the pre-market action. They're moving together, and it started with J.P. Morgan on Friday. They weren't in love with that report, and I just think that, as I said before in the morning show, these stocks have had a nice run just over the past month and a half. So, take it hard to say that the long-term trend has been broken by any means, or at least the uptrend here, but certainly showing some weakness. Let me show you the JP Morgan chart since the report, and that got up to the old-time closing high and reversed. There's what your JP Morgan chart looks like. This is what your Bank of America chart looks like here. Had already reported Wells Fargo. I know that had a level, I think, at 32. Still holding on, though, to 32. So Wells Fargo looks interesting. And Citigroup, I know that had a level there today. It's kissing it. Still trying to hold in there, down 42 cents. But the headline stock, Morgan Stanley, that's down 7 cents to 74.92. And not just going to go with the line here. A line in the sand. Boom, right here. That's what we're going to do. We're going to say, still consolidating after a nice up move, a bunch of lows in the same area. So give yourself, let's just call it $74 on the downside. That'd be taking out your last 7-8 days of lows. But once again, you see the boom, the November move, December move, and then the January move here. So boom, those are a couple good months there for the financials. Morgan Stanley backing off a little bit today.
Well, do you still hear me or no?
Yes, I do. You actually sound better.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah, I was on the wrong mic setting there. So, okay, good job on the banks. What else is in the red today? Really just the semis, but everything else, as you said at the top, pretty much in the green across the board. We are being led today by the communication services sector. The XLC is up 3.5%. I don't really know what there is to say. It's just a broad-based rally.
Yeah, I mean,
think
that's what we get
that's
here.
kind of it.
Right. Boom. XLC, you said? I don't know if that's one we covered a whole heck of a lot.
It's the sector that they spun off. They spun it off from tech a year and a half ago, right? So this is the Netflix and the Google and the
Okay. Are you guys
Twitter.
are you getting some breakup on my headset? Do you hear me breaking up at all?
I do hear you a little bit, but I don't know because it could be my setup which was thrown together at the last second because I was in a meeting. So I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know if it's me or you, but we're gonna work through it today. I'll be back in my usual get up tomorrow morning.
Okay. Yeah.
What about the earnings, Joel? We are in earnings season. Nothing too big after the close today. UAL is the big one. UAL in Kinder Morgan and Alcoa, but UAL of those three is the one that I think we care about the most. You want to pull up that chart?
Yeah, sure. This one has been holding a trading range, broke out of 44, and now 44 has been a support. Those are the lows of the last two, not today, but your other two lows are coming in right here at 40, right, a little bit lower, 43.88 and 43.77. That's what I'm looking at on the downside here. And then for a breakout to the upside, it's hard to, I'd say just over 46 here. This is kind of reminds me of what that Netflix chart looked like yesterday. Here, boom, you got the support at just under 44. And you can actually get a couple other points going across here on the upside. These highs here, let's call it 46.5 on the upside. So that's a tight little channel or a tight little range for UAL ahead of the report. I didn't check Netflix. I saw
Oh
it did.
yeah, you want to check it. All-time highs.
Yep, and there you go.
Can't
Gapped
stop.
up.
Can't stop. Won't stop.
No, and not much. I mean, we had not much on this one. It's very hard to call a target on that one. But what's interesting here is we drew this in this morning, and this was just some pre-market support that you had. Maybe some short just praying for his life to get out of the position. And you did pierce that in the first 15 minutes of trading. But if you could have hung out through that, just a great day for Netflix here. You gotta start thinking about $600 now on that thing, right? At clear 550, new all-time highs. That's maybe 600 by the end of the week.
Every time this FANG group, sort of goes sideways, as has happened with Netflix for the last, 7 months now, 6 months, I always look back with regret that I didn't buy it before, because it seems like they always will eventually break out. Like they don't go down, they just go sideways. At the worst, they go sideways, and then they break out. So maybe this is a sign of things to come with the rest of the FANG stocks that really haven't done a whole lot the past couple of weeks.
You're talking about stocks move up, they have downturns or consolidations, and
The
then
FANG stocks don't go down though; they just go sideways, right?
Apple went down a little bit. I mean, that had a little bit of a pullback to 138.
I guess. I
That,
suppose.
yeah, that's and I mean there are, but I mean you had the consolidation periods and stocks that are in strong uptrends usually resolves higher, right? And at least in this market, Mr. Softy, this is kind of interesting, though. Mr. Softy is building up some monthly resistance just above that all-time high. Boom. 227.5. How did we do? We didn't quite get there yet today, but that's the hurdle to clear. They probably announce next week or the week after. So take a look at that, Mr. Softy.
Let's go to the chat, see what's on your radar. Drop your tickers in there. We will take a look in the next 10 minutes to wrap up today's session. Someone just dropped in Devon Energy. I've not talked about that one. I haven't looked at DVN for quite some time. Don't know what it's doing.
Let's see. It's moved up with the rest of the oil patch here. Just a little bit of a slower move here from 10 to 11. It's taken a month, so this is, excuse me, 10 to 20. That's a decent move since November, so that's doubled. Not much here. Same thing, bumped up, made a new high. This was back last week. A new high at 2077 and just backed off for a few days, little consolidation. So set your alerts there for 2077 if you're looking for a continued move to the upside. Did get to 2030 today, but just a little bit slower mover. But hey, it's doubled since let's see, November, December, January. So periods of consolidation uptrends. I'll try and stick with them.
Actually, I have one, Joel. I think it's been 2 weeks since we last talked about Neo.
Really?
We have to talk about Neo.
Let's take a look at it.
It's gotten really quiet. It's in the last 3 days. It's really done, or no, last week. It seems like it's been done a whole lot of nothing.
Did it did they come up with an offering?
Yeah.
So that just kind of put a little dent here, backed off, but once again forming nice area support 3 days in a row. Your lows are all now not 3 days in a row. 2 days, let's call it 56.30. You do have 3 lows kind of in the area. Let's just split it all and call it 56. Get rid of those sellers at 60. 60.09, the high today, 60.22. That was your high on Friday. So that's what we're looking at, Neo. I mean, once again, major up move after that Neo day and just backing off, cooling off a little bit.
Thought we lost you for a second, but I guess we got you back. Okay. Yeah, Neo is on my list because we haven't talked about Neo for a little bit here. What about here? What about Turtle Beach?
Let's take a look at Turtle Beach, the maker of headsets. Everyone wants me to get a new headset.
You just got a new headset.
I know. They don't like my gaming headset,
Yeah.
which is just like Mitch's. I don't understand. Boy, this is not looking nice on the dailies here. And the reason I say that is you had a little bit of a fall from grace from, the 26 and a quarter level. And then you pulled back, put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lows in the same area. The reason I say it's looking good here on the dailies is, let's see, 23.20, 23.10. Those are the highs the end of the year. And now you're piercing that. 23.24 is the high in today's session. So just go with the saying, there's no such thing as a triple top.
Here's a new one, for me at least. Celsius Holdings, CELH, mid-cap, $4 billion market cap, $65 a share. Have not ever looked at this stock, I think.
CELH.
Yep. They make, I think they're FDA approved beverages or something like that.
Is there news on it today?
Or maybe they don't. Maybe it's just regular old beverages. I think it's just regular old beverages. Nothing with the FDA, just regular old beverages.
What kind? They must be really good beverages here.
I think this is with the alcoholic trend that you're seeing now with seltzers.
Yeah, I've never even heard of this company.
Look at this thing since July. You tried to break out. You just hear you had a little bit of a reversal day. You got a buck above that all-time high from yesterday. Boat was fully loaded with longs, and someone decided to come in big time and take some profits. Now, that's the bad news. The good news is that it's found a pair of lows in the same area, 63.55 from yesterday and 63.64 from today's session. So I think if you're a little nervous here on the sell-off today, be happy that it did take out that 63.5 low, and then I think you could get another leg of selling. Based on the daily lows, 62.5 is your next daily support level.
I'm just amazed that I had never heard of that company before. It seems like one that I definitely would have stumbled upon either for news or articles or whatever, but I've never heard of. I never heard of that brand, Celsius Holdings. They make.
This is. Oh, you found it?
No, yeah, I'm on their site. I've never even heard of this brand
What are they? Yeah,
before.
what are they?
They've got a number of beverages, flavored beverages.
Which ones? Because I know we've been buying a heck of a lot of them.
This is why we have the chat too. They're telling us it's like kind of like an energy drink.
I guess so. It's like the brand is Celsius, and then Celsius Heat and Celsius Live Fit. They're getting a lot of free ads from us right now, but I've never heard of them, so I'm surprised. So thanks to whoever brought that up. Nick Cawthon or someone in the chat.
Okay, we just we touched 52.50 there, so we cleared out whatever sellers we had at 38.50, backing off again, but still we're going to make a new all-time closing high, folks, by a wide margin. That all-time closing high, which also was last week's high at 17. Well, last week's high was 17.75. The former all-time closing high, unless a rock hits this market, was 17.50.
Okay.
So.
Future Gain says Celsius is from Russell Simmons. Now, him I have heard of. Anyway, let's move on to some more stocks here. Someone asked for your thoughts, Joe, on QuantumScape, the QS. This is one of those SPACs that went through with the merger, so it's no longer a SPAC. Now it's just an auto, a battery supplier, right? For cars.
This is a really interesting point here. Boy, oh boy, we probably given back more than that. Was just a crazy move up over 120. I think if you're taking a stab at it here, you're going to find out pretty soon whether you're right or wrong, because here I can always go back to this low here too, and tighten it up for you even more. Now, what you got to be aware of, that low was 48 and a quarter. I just don't like it leaning down, closing near that low. That supports these two lows. This is this low. So maybe you get an undercut and rally. Maybe you shake out all these people leading here on this level. And then, you rally. But you're going to find out real quickly whether this one's going to turn around.
Someone's asking about Mara. I really don't know if there's anything to say about that. The chart's got gaps all over it. It just trades with Bitcoin.
Right.
I'm really not sure if Joel can add anything by looking at that chart. I mean, it's just gappy. There's really nothing. It tracks Bitcoin, does it not?
It tracks Bitcoin. It also did an offering too, right?
Okay.
And that kind of knocked it down. I mean, if you wanted, it's a long way to go from the area we had 3-year high breakout. So I don't know if it's filed Bitcoin here, but if it pulls back, you see you bounce off the low on the dailies of 1759. So you got some room off that, but really, if you're looking at where it broke out from, it's closer to $15. So, but good news is it closed $2 off the low.
We got Overstock here. I'll never forget that Overstock was the best performing stock of like the first 6 months of 2020 or the first few months of the pandemic. This thing went from like $5, no, like $2 to like $130 in like 5 months.
Winding up, folks. Look at that. Inside day on inside day on. Wow, today was a little bit not an inside day from yesterday, but 3 lows in the same area.
There we go.
Keep an eye on that. Let's see. Those 3 lows are right at. Keep an eye, $60. Maintain that on big support, and you need to clear 64 to break out. So, a little bit of selling on the close there. But Spencer, you want to wrap it up and give our guests for tomorrow?
I do want to wrap it up and give our guests for tomorrow. We got Mark Chaikin and Buck Andrews on tomorrow's show, so it'll be good to get Mark's thoughts on this market. That's going to be a wrap for us. Hit that like button. Don't just hit it. Smash that like button. We appreciate all the likes, all the comments. Even people saying that they've dropped tickers in for weeks and we didn't see them. I'm sorry. There's a lot of you. I can't get to all of them every time. I try to look through all of them. But, we appreciate all the tickers that you drop in. And sometimes we learn something new. Like I learned today about
whatever that company was. I don't even remember now. Okay, let's go. Let's wrap it up. Everyone have a good rest of your day. We will talk with you tomorrow morning.